Hello, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to install a new steering wheel on our 4Runner. Come on, let's begin. Alright, so this is our new steering wheel. This is a heated steering wheel upgrade on our 4Runner because our 2022 Toyota 4Runner didn't come with a heated steering wheel. So now we have one. This is from CARTRIMHOME.com. So if you want to purchase this, I'll put the link in the description below. You can use my discount code FG7P to save 7% off your purchase. So this will work on 5th gen 4Runner 2012 to 2023 Tacoma and 2014 to 2021 Tundra. This is a very nice upgrade. Especially now it's winter and it's getting really cold, and yeah, so this will be very helpful. You can customize this one out. So if you want to customize it, basically just give them a message after you purchase it. You can customize it at an additional cost, of course. So with this one, I requested it to be on suede with black stitching without the centering line. So usually the default on this one will have a red stitching on leather, basically synthetic leather, and then with a red alignment stripe here in the middle. So this one, I prefer all black basically. Again, this is heated and it's 360 heated steering wheel. All right. So with the kit, it will come with a new clock spring. Okay, just be careful. Make sure the security lock is in place. Make sure that this doesn't basically get detached from here, and take care of the clock spring. Okay, make sure that it is centered all the time. Okay, that one, it has some arrow. Make sure those are pointed at the same place all the time. All right, so again, take care of this, set it aside on a safe place. We have our main wiring harness in here. Okay, so it comes with a switch, which is nice. All right, this is pre-wired. Basically, you just need to connect this to your add a fuse. It comes with a 7.5 amp fuse in there, and connect it to body ground. Again, it got this box in here, and this will connect to the clock spring. All right. If you want to check my Tacoma install video of the steering wheel, feel free to do so. Now with the actual steering wheel, this is nice. I like it, and it's light. So we're gonna do a weight comparison of the factory steering wheel of the 4Runner and this one. All right, so the weight of the CARTRIMHOME heated steering wheel, it's about 2 pounds and 2.22 pounds. That's light. So we're gonna remove the factory and we're gonna weigh it too. All right, so come on, let's proceed on removing the factory steering wheel. All right, so before we proceed on removing the steering wheel, we're gonna disconnect our battery first, just to avoid any issues, especially on the airbags. All right, so next that we're gonna do is we're going to remove these covers. So there will be two of this, one on this side, one on the other side. All right, so just simply pry this out and we'll have access to the bolt or the screw. So if you can see that one, we need to access that or remove that. That will be the T30 that we need to remove. All right, so let's remove this. There you go. And you don't have to worry about it falling because it is actually getting catch by that plastic thing. All right, so just loosen on both ends and we can pull our airbag. All right, so once we remove both screws on the side or loosen them up, we're gonna need to pull this carefully because there will be wires, cables that are still attached here. So we need to remove this orange and black cable, and this will release the actual airbag. So just carefully unclip this. There you go. There you go. So you just need to pull this out. So I'm gonna use my plastic pry tool to remove it. There you go. Now I need to pull up the ground. Okay, so there you go. You remove the ground and the airbag connectors. So just put this on a safe place. And now what we need to do next is we're going to remove this harness in here. We're gonna unclip it. Okay, so there will be two of them. So just unclip both. So we're just gonna unscrew that. There will be two screws in here, and then we're gonna transplant that later. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, just make sure that you keep the screws safe. Don't lose them. There you go. It's only two of them. Then we can pull this out in here. There you go. You can put that in a safe place. Next thing we're gonna need to do is we're gonna remove the actual steering wheel. So it is straight, just not on the camera. So it's gonna be the 19mm socket that we need to use here, and let's go. All right, so let's remove this. And if you can keep the steering wheel as straight as possible when doing this, it's gonna be awesome. So let's do it. There you go. We loosen the bolt on it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna keep the bolt in there till we pull the steering wheel. Okay, because sometimes you don't want, like, there will be resistance pulling the steering wheel. You can smack your face on it when you pull it out. Just leave the nut in there. You can try to pull it. Okay, so if it has some resistance, give it some tap on the sides and it should loosen up. All right, let's try it. All right, so there you go. So just remove the nut now, and we can pull up the whole steering wheel assembly. All right, so just be careful. Okay, so we got our harness in there. Let's feed them in the hole. All right, so there you go, it's out. Next thing we're gonna do is we're going to remove the panels here in the steering column so that we can remove our clock spring. Again, with the factory clock spring, you want to be careful on this one. Handle it with care. Don't let it spin. Okay, yeah. So let's put it back to position. There you go. Okay, and yeah, we're gonna tape that so that it doesn't move too much. All right, so just unscrew this two in here, and we're gonna pull out the clock spring. Okay, as you see here, just for precautionary measure, I put some tape in there just to avoid it from moving too much. All right, so now let's remove our screws in here on the panels. So just need to pull this out and we'll have access to our clock spring. All right, so all of the plugs from the harness has been removed from the clock spring. So what we need to do next is we're gonna unclip it. So there's a clip here in the top. All right, there's one here on the side, and there's one more on the other side here. And just be careful. Okay, just pull it slowly. Don't let it spin, and secure it properly. Okay. All right, so once we remove the clock spring, Okay, so mine, I secured it with some masking tape to avoid it from moving, spinning, or whatever. Okay, to avoid any movement, basically. So what we need to do next is get your new clock spring. This one is secured with a lock, and we need to transfer this module in here into the new one. Okay, so basically we're just gonna pick this out of here. So there will be like some clips holding it. All right, so there's like 6 clips holding it. There you go. So just make your way on removing the clips. Actually, there's only 4, not 6. I'm sorry. So there you go. So all we need to do is remove this. Okay, now we need to transfer this. So make sure the white notches in here. So the white notches is basically a line when you put it or when you snap it into the new one. Okay, so let's just do that. Just clip it in. There you go. And now we have our clock spring. All right. Nice. Okay, so now let's proceed with the steering wheel controls. Transplant into the new steering wheel. All right, so now we need to do the transplant. So we need to unscrew like 1, 2, like 6 of them. 6 screws. Okay, so that's what we need to do. And then we're just gonna transfer everything on the new one. All right. All right, and then we're gonna move this also. This one needs to be transplanted into the new one. So what else do we need to work on is the back here. So there you go, just pull it out, easy. So I need to remove the other side. There you go, easy as that, nothing's broken. So next thing we're gonna remove will be this back cover in here. Okay, so this back cover, this is just clipped in. So it's clipped in here, clipped in there, and clipped on the sides. All right, so let's start with the 2 here. Okay, push those out and the rest will follow. Now let's weigh this, how much this one weighs. All right, so we're weighing this one, and this one weighs 3.74 pounds. So definitely the new one is lighter. All right, so now let's proceed on swapping those out into that one. All right, so now let's proceed, and we're gonna start with the cover in here. So the one that goes here in the back, we're gonna keep that in. So I'm just gonna drop it, clipped on one side. Okay, now the bottoms. Okay, we need to, let's just pull it in already. The other side. Okay, so everything is clipped in. Okay, now we're gonna work on putting on the steering wheel controls. There you go, easy, very easy. So just need to screw everything together. Basically that's it. Don't over tighten them because you might damage the plastic. There you go. So now we need to put on the balancer That's the right term, I guess, for this one, is the balancer. All right, there you go. So everything is complete. Okay, there you go. It's very nice. I like it. Okay, so now what we need to do next is we need to wire the harness. Basically, that's the next step here. Okay, we need to get power for the heated portion of it. Okay, all right, so now what we're gonna do with the harness is we're gonna install it. Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna remove this panel. I simply just pull this one out in here. Okay, and I'll have access to this, so I can just pop this out. Okay, I can just pop it. That makes it easier for me. And then we're gonna use this area in here as a ground. At least that's the plan. If not, we need to access some other area for the ground. Okay, so again, this one, make sure it is here. We're just gonna cable tie this one out in here. Okay, and basically that's the plan. All right, so now for the harness, again, we're just gonna install this where we can easily cable tie it, and make sure you cable tie it neatly. All right, so from there we can put everything back together. We can put on the clock spring and put on the wires, and then we can do the actual connection to power. So on the switch, just need to fish it up, and I can just grab it. If you want to make your life easier installing this, you can actually remove the panel underneath. You can easily grab the cable. But I don't really have issues. I already have it in my hand. So I'm just, there you go, pulling it out. Okay, so then we need to do some cable management on all of the wires, especially that control box that they have. So we're gonna do that after we plug this in. Make sure that you plug it in properly. Okay, then we just need to push this in here into place. So yeah, if you want to make your life easier, you can remove the door seal panel in here, the trim, this panel. Basically, there will be a plastic thing in here to remove it. It's being covered. There you go. Just unscrew that, and yeah, you can remove it. And there will be a bolt, a 10mm screw in here, and then you can remove it. Okay, so again, that's up to you if you want to do that. I did not do that process. I just pulled this one out, so make life easier for me. So yeah, so next, again, we're gonna put on the clock spring. All right, so now let's proceed and install the clock spring. Just be careful. I've been telling repeatedly just to be careful on the clock spring. Okay, so have that. What we can do is we can put on all of the wires. This harness in here, this one is from the kit. So let's install that first. Okay, there you go. Let's put everything back. Make sure you hear the clicks. All right, so now we're going to put back the cover in here. So just clip everything back together, and then just put back the screws. Again, just reverse the process on this one. Very easy process. There you go. Again, don't forget to remove the lock. We're gonna work on that later, once we're actually putting back on the steering wheel. All right, So now we're going to install the steering wheel. Going to remove the lock. Okay, don't let this spin. We're gonna feed this cable back in here. Let's hope that we did this right. Okay, so we just need to align our steering wheel. There you go. So it's back in there. All right, so just connect basically the cable in there. Need to connect this one. There you go. Again, basically just reverse the process, and the only thing that we need to do is connect these two together, and this will activate the heating element on the vehicle. So I think that will work in here. I'm thinking that I should put it under. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so just putting this here. Make sure you hear the click. Okay, then we can secure it down here so that it doesn't move much. Now we need to put back the nut, the steering wheel nut, and we have to torque this at 37 foot-pounds. Okay. All right, so now that I have my torque wrench in here, we're gonna torque this to 37 foot-pounds. All right, we're just waiting for that magic click. There you go. Once you heard that click, that's it. Next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna connect the airbag horn assembly in here. Okay, so for this one, basically just reverse the process on this one. Then we're gonna test the horn. Make sure you push those yellow tab, the security tabs. Make sure you push them. If you cannot push them, then there's a problem. There you go. Again, don't forget the ground for your horn to properly work. Okay, so now just let it sit there. Make sure it is properly seated in there. Then we just have to secure the T30 screws in here. All right, so I'll connect back the battery. Okay, so I don't hear any exploding stuff inside, so we should be good. All right, so on mine I used the blank KDSS fuse, and because I don't have KDSS on my car, so yeah, so I just use that to power on the switch for the heater. All right, so yeah, so it will be different on yours basically if you have KDSS. All right, but this is basically what works on me. So just find one basically that's gonna turn on when it's on accessory, all right, or ignition. Okay, so yeah, so here it is. I just need to clean up the wires, then we're gonna do the testing. All right, so it's like 8:17 in the morning, and yeah, so I drop off my daughter, testing the new steering wheel, and our house is like 2 minutes away from the school. And yeah, this one already like warmed up very quick. Again, it's very helpful if it warms up quickly, right? So yeah, I really like it because again, just 2 minutes tops, it's warm already, and heat is distributed 360 all over the steering wheel. Yeah, so if you want to purchase this, I'll put the link in the description below. You can use my discount code FG7P to save 7% off your purchase. Again, if you find this video helpful, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching.